would just be transient. But to sit here tonight and watch the progression of this guy is just phenomenal, you know, and I'm desperately proud and can't thank you enough, Ricky, for getting the ball rolling. And the Ace of Spades.
Bro was he's fucking better than me.
And the Ace of Spades being that first song, yet again, I know you're a huge fan of Motorhead, and as you've said, a good friend of Lemmy.
Yeah, I mean, just they're the ultimate rock and roll band. When we first started, the Almighty, me and Stumpy had a plan. We wanted to form a band that sounded like Sham 69 meets Motorhead. And I think
Motorsham?
Yeah, Motorsham. And I think we sort of achieved that, you know. We wanted this sort of dirty, sleazy, bluesy rock and roll with the terrace choruses of Sham 69. And yeah, just again, a huge influence. This is probably one of my favourite songs of all time. I think this is just the most brilliant rock and roll song. And there are so many Lemmy stories, and some of you may have heard this one, but I've been saying it, I'm going to tell it again, because it's just such a good story, and it just sums up the great man perfectly. So if you don't mind, I'll stand up, because I tell it better when I stand up. So Motorhead about to put an album out called 1916 in about 1992, and they'd asked us to be special guests on the tour, so obviously we were thrilled. So prior to that, there was a thing in LA called Foundations Forum, which is it's like a metal hard rock gathering they used to hold back in the day. Loads of bands playing. It's held out by LAX airport in a hotel, and it just gets taken over, and it's fucking right. So Lenny called me up and he said, "Hey, we're going to do Foundations Forum. Are you guys doing it?" And I said, "Yeah." And we discussed. We found that we were in the same hotel. So Lem goes, "When you get there, give me a shout, and we'll hook up. I'll leave a note with reception with my room number. Blah blah blah." So anyway, we arrive in LA, and I'm excited. And we're ready to be there. It's LA, sun's shining. It's amazing. And I go in and check into the hotel, and sure enough, the receptionist goes, "Mr. Warwick, there's a note for you," and it's room 214, Lem. So I pick up the courtesy phone and I say, "Lem, we've just arrived." And he goes, "Get yourself up here." So I'll never forget going up in the elevator and fucking shaking, and get to 214. The door opens. The smoke just comes out of the fucking door into the hallway. There's a crack of light. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so there's a crack of light just coming through the curtains in the room. It's illuminating the doorway. Lemmy is standing there, resplendent in a cowboy hat, a denim cut off, and the tightest pair of denim shorts I've ever seen in my life, with a cigarette and a pint of Jack Daniels in his hand, and I just went, "I have died, and you are God." This is fucking great. So he goes, "Come in." So I walk into the room, and there's all kinds of debauchery going on in the room. It's just brilliant. There's just fucking shit going on everywhere. There's, Phil Campbell from the band's there. There's girls that take their clothes off for a living there as well. It's just all kinds of debauchery. And suddenly I become I'm from Newton Arms, and I'm just a wee fucking Presbyterian. Really shouldn't be here, but I thought, no, Ricky, come on, you've earned this. You're a rocker, get it together, act like one of the gang, try and fit in. So Lemmy hands me a pint glass, and he fills it up 3/4 full of Jack Daniels, about that much Coca-Cola. And then the weirdest thing that stuck with me forever, he goes, "You want some ice?" And I went, "Oh, okay." Thinking, 2 ice cubes. I was like, "Okay, all right." So he hands me that, and then he continues to rack out the longest line, but the length of that coffee table. Could have been cocaine, it could have been speed, I don't know, but he racked it out, and he had a pair of headphones in his hand, and a Walkman, and he looks at me and goes, "Drink that, smoke that, and listen to this." So I headphones on, and it's a new Motorhead album. I'm sitting down on the edge of the bed in the hotel room, and it's blaring, and he keeps topping me up, topping the pint glass up, another wee sneaky line, and I was like, "This is great. This is the best day of my life. This is just amazing. This is so cool. Hanging out with Motorhead, I'm doing her drugs, drinking her Jack Daniels, I'm hearing a new album before it's released. Fucking brilliant. So the album finishes, and I go to stand up. Instantly get the spins. My legs buckle, I fall flat on my face into the carpet, into the pint glass, which shatters, cuts my eye open, which starts bleeding profusely, and I vomit all at the same time. Pretty fucking spectacular. So I'm lying on the carpet with the room spinning, in my own vomit, in my own blood, unable to get up. And I hear this over my left ear, and I smell this rancid breath. And it's Lemmy leaning over me, and he goes, "Warwick, you're a fucking lightweight. You'll never make it." So again, dedicate this to the great man. Yeah, I gotta assume the position for this one.
Fools.